Sometimes life sends you a gentle whisper. Sometimes it comes as a storm. And sometimes it comes as a stranger who shows you who you really are. This is the story of a man who thought the world troubled him until he discovered the truth hiding inside his own heart. In the quiet fields of Karnataka, there lived a man named Raghav. Raghav was known for one thing. He was always restless. If he waited in a line for 1 minute, he tapped his foot loudly. If his tea arrived a little late, he sighed so heavily that everyone could hear. If someone spoke slowly, his eyebrows jumped in irritation. He believed the world was too slow. He believed people wasted his time. He believed life should move the way he wanted. His wife, Anaya, watched him with worry. Every evening, she said the same words. Raghav, why do you rush through life? Why do small delays make you so upset? Raghav always answered, because time is precious. People must learn to be fast. But he did not see the truth. He was rushing through life. But life was rushing through him, too. He was losing moments of peace and didn't even notice. One morning, Raghav was preparing to leave for the town market. His sandals were missing. He looked under the bed, behind the door, inside the kitchen. Nothing, he shouted. Who moved my sandals? Why can't this house stay organized? Anaya came out slowly and said, They must be near the door. You always leave them there. But Raghav didn't listen. He stormed outside and found the sandals exactly where she said. On the way to the market, a bullock cart moved slowly in front of him. Raghav grew angry. He tried to pass, but the road was narrow. He shouted from behind, Move faster. I have work. The old man on the cart replied gently, Son, the road is long. You will reach. But Raghav shook his head and walked faster ahead, muttering, These people, they don't care about time. But that night, while sitting alone under a dim lantern, he felt something tight inside his chest. Why do I feel tired all the time? He whispered. He had no answer, but life had one ready for him. The next morning, Raghav walked to the old bus stop near the banyan tree. He needed to collect a parcel from town. At the bus stop sat an elderly man in a saffron shawl, with a soft smile and eyes full of peace. His name was Hari Baba, a wandering storyteller who traveled from village to village. He spoke kindly to everyone. Children gathered around him. Women offered him buttermilk. Men asked him questions about life. Raghav looked at him and thought, another person with nothing to do. But the bus was running late, as usual, and Raghav's irritation grew stronger with every passing minute. He looked around and said loudly, Why is this bus always late? Nothing in this country is on time. Hari Baba looked at him and smiled. Son, can I ask you something? Raghav frowned. Yes. Do you get angry when the sun rises late? Raghav looked confused. The sun never rises late. And do you shout at the river when it flows slowly? No, of course not. Hari Baba nodded. Then why do you shout at humans who are more complicated than rivers and suns? Raghav opened his mouth, but said nothing. The old man continued. You are angry because you expect life to move at your speed. But life has its own rhythm. Something inside Raghav softened. Who's Talit? Hari Baba picked up a small clay pot that villagers had given him. It was simple, light, and empty. He handed it to Raghav. Hold this, he said. Raghav held Italiano. Now squeeze it as hard as you can. Raghav pressed the pot firmly. After a moment, his fingers began to hurt. The old man asked, Is the pot hurting you? No, my hand is hurting. Exactly, Hari Baba said. This pot is your expectation. You are squeezing life tightly, and the pain is coming not from life, but from your grip. He gently took the pot back and placed it on the ground. Life is easier when you hold it lightly. Raghav felt something shift inside him, like a door opening quietly after years of being locked. That same evening, Raghav decided to try something new. He told himself, I will not rush today. The first test came immediately. His neighbor, a friendly teacher named Lakshmi, walked by and said, Raghav, "Can you help me carry these books to the school?" Normally, he would have said, "I'm busy." But today, he paused. He took a breath. He remembered the clay pot. "Okay, I'll help," he said softly. They walked slowly, talking about the school children, the monsoon, and the mango trees blooming early this year. For the first time in a long time, Raghav noticed the chirping birds, the smell of wet soil, the sound of kids laughing in the distance. When he returned home, Anaya looked surprised. "You seem calm," she said. Raghav smiled gently. "I'm trying to hold life lightly." The next day, he went to the market. It was crowded. People were walking everywhere. A vendor spilled water near his feet. A man accidentally bumped into him. His old self wanted to explode. But he breathed. He remembered the pot. He remembered the pain in his hand. When the vendor apologized, Raghav said, "It's okay. Be careful next time." When the man bumped into him, Raghav stepped aside and said nothing. He felt something unusual. He felt free because he realized something. He was no longer fighting the world. He was only adjusting his grip. But life always gives a final test. 1 week later, Raghav waited again at the bus stop. The bus was already 25 minutes late. People complained. Some left. His heart began to beat fast with irritation. At that moment, Hari, Baba walked toward him. He said, "The world is testing you today." Raghav exhaled slowly. "Yes, and I'm trying." The old man sat beside him. "Let me tell you something," he said. "When a drum is tight, it makes loud noise. When it is loose, it cannot make a sound. But when it is balanced, it makes beautiful music. Humans are the same. Too tight brings pain. Too loose brings carelessness. Balance brings peace." Raghav looked at the ground. "I never knew how unbalanced I was." The old man smiled. "Now you do. And knowing is the beginning of wisdom." In that moment, the buff finally arrived. But Raghav no longer cared about the delay. He felt peaceful. Months passed. People noticed the change. Raghav talked slowly. He walked gently. He listened before speaking. He helped neighbors without rushing. Children came to him with their small problems. Shopkeepers greeted him warmly. Women in the village smiled when they saw him helping his wife in the courtyard. One afternoon, a young boy asked him, "Uncle, how did you become so calm?" Raghav looked at the boy's curious face and said, "I stopped squeezing life. I started holding it lightly." The boy nodded, not fully understanding, but remembering the words. Sometimes life runs slow. Sometimes people delay you. Sometimes plans change. But your peace should not depend on the world, because the world will never move at your speed. When you loosen your grip, life becomes softer, people become easier, the heart becomes lighter. So next time you feel restless, remember the clay pot and whisper to yourself, "I will not squeeze life. I will hold it lightly." Because the one who walks gently walks far. Do not wait for tomorrow. Begin today, even with the smallest step. Thank you for listening to Irritated. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so you never miss another tale that brings warmth, clarity, and a little more light to your inner journey, while helping you grow day by day in your English learning.